get
All right.
Facebook in here.
Yeah. Let me know because I can't see anything. Going blind. This is for the wrap up and everything too.
All right, we're good to go.
All right. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's Monday morning. Appreciate everyone coming in a little bit late with the stream being made. Eric made his first one because StreamYard's being real funky and kicked Dylan and I both out. So I'm sure there's a story to it here. And a little bit slower, our shorter show today. It's always slow in here. You know, we're hanging out. We're just chilling. But I got to get out of here and drop off my wife down at the airport down at SeaTac, and it's piss and rain pretty good right now. So hopefully the 5 is not chaos. So wish me luck on that front. They also just started that the real ID stuff as well, Eric. So flights, I don't know how airports are with everything like that. Luckily, she's got TSA pre-check and everything. But we're here. We're live. Thank you for creating the show. I was about ready to call it, just saying, all right, well, screw it. The gods are saying no show today. But Eric said we must have a show. He missed my face too much. So how you doing?
No, it's more so that I got out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning and do this. We're doing a show, but I'm doing good. I had a nice, relaxing weekend. Just stayed home, played some video games. You know, something that I don't really get to do most of the year because I'm normally busy. But I take this month off, and so been playing a couple different video games, having a lot of fun with that, and just relaxing and just enjoying a break from all the draft stuff that I'm going to get started here back on here in about a week or two.
Yeah, and talking about draft stuff, just early roster stuff, we'll have a chance to really get through it while the chat's going here. I see we got Denver Luke in the house. If you'd pull them up, says, howdy, y'all. Good news. My C. diff is gone. Thank God. I'm so happy. What a horrible experience that was. LOL. Ah, man, no LOL on that front, Denver Luke. That is a nasty, nasty stuff, and I'm really glad to hear that it's gone. That stuff can be a real problem. So glad to hear that you are healthy on the mend and feeling much better. We also got Chase Wellner in the house saying, morning, guys. Thank you, Chase. Thanks to everybody joining in today. Eric's running the ones and twos as we're having StreamYard issues with Dylan. And I can't even see Dylan's beautiful face in the background here and with one of the bubbles. So I'm a little sad. But no, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit of Broncos schedule game by game and everything like that. But first, Eric, I did want to say early indications. If you had to bet right now, what position are the Broncos drafting in the first round next season? What's it going to be?
What position are they drafting in the first round?
Yeah, what
next
position?
season?
Putting you on the spot. Chat, let us know as well. What do you think?
Oh, I would say defensive line edge, probably. That's probably where
Edge.
I'm leaning to right now.
Is that because Nick Benito's gone?
No, I just think I'm not sure if he gets extended. Then you have Jonathan Cooper's contract, but I could also see defensive line as well because John Franklin Myers, maybe Xavier Jones doesn't, step up into that starting spot yet. So one of those two somewhere in that area.
Yeah. Michael Ronquillo in the house. Good morning, Nick and Eric on Broncos for breakfast. Go Broncos. We got Darren in the house saying, please extend Sutton. We'll see. I'm expecting Allen. We'll see about Sutton, Benito, John Franklin Myers. Those are the ones that they might make him wait. I think they might make Sutton wait, kind of like we saw with Garrett Bowles this season. I'm not sure what goes on with Nick Benito. He's different, but Allen's the one if they don't have a contract in with Allen before the start of the season, I'll be shocked. Honestly, I'll be pretty darn shocked. We got Gatorade Gaming in the house. Says, good morning, Nick and Eric. What's good, Broncos country? And Jeremy and Richard got me on this one. I'm going to say offensive line. Morning to you, Jeremy. Morning to Chase. Richard says offensive line as well. Denver's only used 2 picks on the offensive line in the last 3 drafts, Eric. And I know they spent good money on Truss, but he's probably a little bit more of a guard. You have Garrett Bowles and Mike McGlinchey getting along on the tooth. McGlinchey before coming to Denver, he's had some injury issues as well, which I'll knock on wood, but that's always kind of in the back of my mind with his San Francisco years. And given how important the offensive line is with what Sean Payton has done, being that Bill Parcells disciple, as well as how important I believe it is for Bo Nix. I mean, we'll see what the stats are this season, but he was one of the worst quarterbacks under pressure last season. Statistically speaking, there's more that goes into it than just Bo Nix. Do they have a game, a one-on-one winner? Are they actually getting a lot of EPA gain when you dump it off to the running back, blah, blah, blah. But he struggled under pressure last season. And I think keeping the offensive line really strong is important. There's not an obvious path right now, which makes it difficult as well. I know center is the obvious spot, but are you using a first-round pick on a center? I don't think that's smart, personally. But yeah, offensive line, they're screaming for a premium investment with where the team is at right now.
Yeah, offensive line makes sense. And, it's you have Mike McGlinchey, as you said, with the injury concerns, and they're able to get out of his contract after 2026. Yeah, Ben Powers as well, if they want to go get a guard that can potentially move to tackle and, roll with McGlinchey and Bulls. They have options. Center, I'm with you. I wouldn't draft a center in the first round unless it's like a no-brainer, obvious hit. And even then, it's still a little questionable.
Mhm.
But so you have options there. I just think that they're pretty content to roll with who they have for this year and next year, to an extent. I don't think that I would expect Ben Powers, unless he takes this big step forward, to be gone after the season. But they have guys behind them that they really like. They like Alex Palczewski to step in at guard. They also really like Matt Peart. If they weren't able to get a extension done with Garrett Bowles, he was the guy that they were going to be looking at left tackle. They also have Alex Palczewski, who can play tackle as well, though they just prefer him at guard. So they have these options that I think that they're content to roll with if they have to, either both after this for this season and next season. So it's just why for me it comes behind working up at that defensive front.
Yeah, and again, at the end of the day, even though I asked you which position, it comes down to the individual player. It could be wide receiver as well. It could be linebacker. I don't know if you had a chance yet. Texas has a linebacker that is just like fun as absolute hell, man. He is a demon out there. I think his Hill last name. He's hard to miss. And I love all the optimism in the chat here saying, they're going to be picking pick 32. So that's great as well. At that point, yeah, I mean, why not center? Your ceiling is only so high when you're doing anything that position. Like, there's only so much payoff you can get. It's like you're paying the same price. It's like you're going to a lottery and it's the same cost for each ticket. One of them can earn you $100. One can earn you $20. That's the difference between drafting a premium position and a center. Maybe you have a little higher odds on one, but ceiling's capped. So moving forward here, Eric, the Broncos schedule, we're going to go game by game. I'm not sure if I'm sure the other shows have done this as well. And we have known the opponents, right? We could have done this a lot this season, but I want to have a chance to at least talk about this and break it down quarter by quarter. It used to be a lot easier when we had 16 games. Excuse me. But I really like this, how the Broncos schedule sets up. I've heard multiple people say that Sean Payton and the Broncos really like how it sets up as well. So let's get into it. The Broncos' first 4 games of the season, you got week 1, Tennessee Titans, Cam Ward coming to Denver. Then you got week 2 at Indianapolis. I feel like people are Indy, I'm not expecting to be a good team this last season, but Denver was a boneheaded play away from losing the playoff spot to them. So I'm not saying Denver's going to beat Indy outright yet. I will in a little bit here. Then you got at the Chargers and at home, Monday Night Football against the Bengals. So I'm going to have Denver beating the Tennessee Titans and also beating the Colts on the road. I think it's really important for them to get that hot start. We have not seen that from Denver starting 2-0, I think, since Vic Fangio's been here. And then I'm going to have them lose at Los Angeles. Denver got swept by the Chargers last season, and it wasn't all that close. So I'm really curious to see what happens with the Chargers. Very few teams last season were like see football, eat football to the Broncos. Chargers did, especially though they kind of, what's the word? Stalled. The Broncos, they beat them up on the lines of scrimmage. One of the few teams who I felt like, oh man, we can't do anything right now because we're getting stymied on the lines of scrimmage. I'm going to have Denver lose that one, and then I'm going to have them beat Cincinnati. So 3-1 start for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that they're going to beat they're going to start off by beating the Titans. They're going to start off by beating the Colts, although the Colts have a better defense than a lot of people want to give them credit for. It all comes back to the quarterback position. I have confidence in the Broncos defense against either Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones. The Chargers game, this is one that I have pretty much a 50-50. Even though Denver got swept by them last year, I like the moves that Denver made to improve the roster overall. And the moves that the Chargers made, some of them are pretty questionable. They've had some losses on that defensive side of the ball. I actually this is where I differ with you. I actually have Denver winning this one. And then I have the Broncos beating the Bengals as well at home, which last year was basically a toss-up on the road. This year, home field advantage pushes that in Denver's favor. So I have them starting 4-0.
Wow. Eric, Mr. Optimism. The facial hair suits you. Getting all the positivity in here. We see a Falling Sloth in here. I think our guy Falling Sloth is out in Cincinnati. Have you ever heard of Skyline Chili, Eric?
Yes.
Okay. Would you ever eat Skyline Chili?
No.
Okay, that's got like chocolate and cinnamon in it,
Yeah.
and yeah, I would try any food once, but yeah, that's a crazy one. Good to see you, Fallen Sloth. Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. We had some StreamYard issues this morning. We're still dealing with it, and we're going to be out of here in about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes or so, because I have to go drive the missus down to the airport. So we got to move it and groove it. So appreciate everyone coming in. The next slate of games, the Broncos go on the road. So Denver, Eric has them going 4-0 to start the season. I have them 3-1. We have the Broncos then going on the road to the Eagles, arguably their toughest game of the season. Then you have them going to London, week 6, October 12th, playing the Jets abroad. And then the other New York team back at home in Denver, no bye week, week 7 against the Giants. And then week 8, we're almost done with the NFC East at this point, just the Commanders left. But then you got the Cowboys week 8. So I'm going to have the Broncos going, loss to the Eagles, win to the Jets, win to the Giants, lost to the Cowboys. I'm calm, whatever. So that has them for me, I believe at that point, 6-3. Is that right? No, I have them 5-3 at that point on the season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you with the Eagles. I think this is the toughest game on their schedule, and going early morning East Coast games for the Broncos don't typically go well.
No,
but I have them. I have them winning the rest of the 3. So after 8 weeks, I have them 7-1. I think that the Giants. I think if you're gonna go, have that travel week after the London game against the Jets, I think the Giants are a good team to have for that. Yes, they have some talent on the defense, but they really lack in certain spots, and then the offense is still just a complete mess. And I'm not sure Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart, Jameis Winston, whoever's starting at quarterback is going to be enough to overcome those issues that they have. And then the Cowboys, I think it's going to be a tough one, but I think that the Broncos are going to edge it out and walk away with a close win in that one. So I have them at 7-1.
Man, if the Broncos are 7-1, they're going to start building statues, Sean Payton and everything for where that team was, and Mr. Bobelius, Chap Million Knicks. So yeah, that would be unbelievable to be 7-1, Eric. I mean, at that point, you are really talking about a team that is potentially Super Bowl, but AFC West definitely. I have them 5-3 right now. I tend to be conservative. I'm surprised to see how optimistic you are. I feel like I still need to sprinkle in a few losses here and there. The one on the Cowboys, I was a little bit, we'll see on. But moving forward here, we got the week 9 at Houston. Like we talked about last Wednesday, Eric, Houston, one of the most underrated defenses in football last season, better than the Broncos in a lot of categories. We'll see if that's true again. I mean, they probably have better true edge rush duo in Daniel Hunter and Will Anderson, maybe one of the most underrated pass rushers in football. He's unbelievable. That game against Kansas City last season, I don't remember which one was, maybe it was Christmas or something. He was just a menace. It was crazy. He's really, really talented. Then you got week 10, the Raiders, week 11, Kansas City, both of those at home. Then you get the bye week and you get at Washington. I'm going to have Denver losing on the road, another early game, 11 a.m. to the Texans. But then I'm going to have them winning the next 3. I think they're going to beat the Chiefs at home, although I don't know if you read my article, Eric, or saw me pissing and moaning. I think we can say piss on here. Pissing and moaning on Twitter. But like Denver, they play Thursday night against the Raiders, and they get a little bit of rest for the Chiefs. That's great. Let's see what the Chiefs have the week before. Oh, gosh darn it, NFL, they gave the Chiefs a bye week. You got to be freaking kidding me. Like, you got to be freaking kidding me to give them the bye before that. Andy Reid, I think, is 22-4 in regular season games coming off a bye week, which is, he's been a little bit worse with the Chiefs than the Eagles, but I mean, it's still 22-4. Unbelievable. Denver does have a little bit of built-in help with that Thursday night game, but like, why did the NFL do this to us? I mean, it's like, they don't need any more benefit. They've won 9 AFC West in a row. Why give them the bye week before Denver? I'm so freaking annoyed by that, with the NFL giving the Chiefs every little advantage they can, it feels like.
Yeah, I mentioned that on Friday night, talking about this Chiefs game, even though it's a short week after it. It's Kansas City coming off a bye. So you have them going 3-1 in this stretch of 4. I have them going 1-3.
Okay.
Their only win against the Raiders coming on Thursday night. And even then, I don't think it's a gimme. The Raiders did a lot to improve the team overall, and they're going to bring a physical brand of football for sure under Pete Carroll. And I think that, unfortunately, I think Denver is not going to sustain, serious injuries, but I think they're going to get get banged up a little bit, and that's going to hinder the short week or the 10-day gap between the mini bye, I guess, for the Chiefs. So losing to the Texans, beating the Raiders, losing to the Chiefs, and then losing to the Commanders, which brings me, I was 7-1, which brings me to 8-4.
And right? I'm 8-4 as well now. So we get there. I'm not fully bought in on the Commanders. Jaden Daniels' style of football still scares me a bit. He relies so much on scrambling, and he doesn't really. He's weird. Like, he's so good as a scrambler, but he's not like creative as a passer, if that makes sense. Yeah, like he's not using his athleticism to escape and then create these throws. It's more like, I'm a running threat now, which it's worked. I don't know how sustainable that is for them. I also expect a little bit of regression for them defensively. I don't know. They feel like a team who played well over their talent on the depth chart last season, and that tends to make me want to bet against them this season. But don't really want to bet against Jaden Daniels, and Quinn and Cliff seem to be a pretty good pairing there, defensive head coach with offensive coordinator as well. So we'll see. But we both got them 8-4 now as well. And yeah, I think Denver, they have to beat that Kansas City team. That's going to be a crazy game. I know they gave them the bye. Screw it. Screw them. Screw it. Screw Goodell, giving the Chiefs the advantage there with that bye week. It's so stupid. They do play the Bills at Buffalo the week before that, but then giving them the bye, I mean, just come on, NFL. Just flip that. Just give them at Buffalo, at Denver. Then we can talk. That'd be nice. But instead, here we go. Patrick Mahomes, as Goodell pulls up his shirt and it's a Mahomes jersey or something. We got December now for the Broncos, another 4-game slate here. At the Raiders versus Green Bay at home versus the Jags at home, and at Kansas City. I'm going to have Denver go 2-2 in this one. I think they're going to split with the Raiders here. I'm going real basic here. I'm going to have them split with all the AFC West foes, beat Green Bay at home, beat Jacksonville home, and then lose Thursday, Christmas at Kansas City in a tough heartbreaker. So that has the Broncos then for me at 10-6 on the season to this point with 1 game to go.
Yeah, only one I'm going to have them lose here is the Chiefs one. I mean, Thursday night, short week for them in Kansas City in December on a holiday. There's just a lot going against them. I think that this is a game that very likely could be in, the game that essentially decides the division here. But I have Denver losing this one, winning the other 3, bringing them to 11-5.
11-5. So, I mean, you're playoff bound at that point. Yeah. And a question I have for you with you telling me that is, what's Kansas City record at that point? Is Denver in first place? Is that possible? What's going on?
I think that game, going into that game, how I have it when I looked at the Chiefs schedule as well, I had Kansas City and Denver at the same record going into that game. So the record would then be Kansas City would be 12-4 going into that one, or whatever it would be.
Brutal loss on Christmas. Y'all suck. Yeah, we do. I mean, I'd hope it wouldn't be that, but you never know with that. I see there is no chocolate on Skyline chili, but it is on spaghetti, which is, like I said, I'd try anything once, but that's crazy still. But I'm glad to hear that's not. I enjoy the propaganda as well with the mustache. We got Amy Alas in the house joining us over on Facebook. Good to see you, Amy. I see Chase is in here too. Feels like playing the Eagles week 4 will be similar to last year's Ravens game. Possible. I think that's a really good barometer game as well. Like what we were saying here on Eric a lot last season. Eric was like, the defense for the Broncos is really good. I don't know if they're a team that can match up against the best offenses in the NFL. And we saw them you got the Bengals game, you had the Ravens game, and you had the Bills game. I think those are the best offenses they went against. And Denver didn't look too good defensively against those teams. They looked good against Kansas City, but Kansas City wasn't a top offense last season. So I don't know, but we'll see. That's a huge barometer game. I was listening to the Mina Kimes podcast the other day, and I think it was Kyle Clark is the name of the guy who does sports media, sometimes co-hosts on there. And he was talking with an Eagles executive that said, for team building wise, everything starts on the line of scrimmage. And after that, it's tiebreakers. And that's one team where, like Denver last season, talking about the Chargers, they won most matchups across the line of scrimmage. And that made the questions he had at skill positions on offense specifically not as much of an issue. Eagles are one I worry about, specifically their offensive line versus the Broncos' lighter defensive front. Yeah. If they're able to wash them, and then you can't even get to the advantage of what the Broncos have built in the back seven because they're winning so emphatically up front. But that's a huge barometer measuring stick game.
Yeah, it is, and it's one that I view very similar to the Buffalo Bills game, especially with how they play on that offensive line, and with what they do and how it trickles out and everything. I think that the Broncos don't have the necessary mass, especially at nose tackle, to handle that, and they're going to be able to win with the singles with Cam Jurgens at center. They're going to be able to handle that single blocks on DJ Jones, Malcolm Roach, and then trickle that out and really limit the impact that the edge rushers can make, that Zach Allen can make early in the season, so Zach Allen will still be fresh. I mean, last year we saw him kind of wear down a little bit towards the end of the season, but it's just one of those games where they can play bully ball in the trenches on both sides. I think they have the pieces on the defensive line to bully the Broncos offensive line as well. And so they can just play bully ball in the trenches and walk away with the win in that one.
Big game. So you have the Broncos at 11-6. I had them at 10-7 at that point. And then the last game, the Broncos have the Chargers on the road. Time to be determined. Could be for the AFC West, possibly. Yeah. Definitely could be for a spot. I had the Broncos losing that first game against the Chargers on the road. I had them winning this one and finishing the season 11-7, which I believe is the highest prediction I've ever given out here. We've gone game by game before. A lot of times I've been more closer to 7, 8, 9 wins. I think maybe I had 10 wins that first Russell Wilson season, which is hilarious looking back. But, we were all excited at that point. But 11-7, that's a good season. I know that for some people that might be slightly disappointing, especially the expectations change now that we are where we're at, right? So if Denver goes 11-7, and that makes the playoffs, no doubt, but that doesn't probably win the AFC West. That'll be disappointing. And you're smiling a lot. I don't know if there's a chat here.
11-6. You're
right. 11-6. Excuse me. You're right. So yeah, I'm with Michael Ronquillo, 11-6 on that one as well. Didn't get coffee this morning because I was trying to figure out the bleeping StreamYard that we were having issues with. So I'm still coffeeless here. And then of course the Falcons show went long, so I didn't able to go get it before. But 11-6. That should be the playoffs. It's the best Broncos season record wise we've had in a decade. So I would take that right now. If you could guarantee me an 11-6 season, I think I'd take it. I think I would take it. Would you take it? I mean, I would take it. It feels like there's a higher ceiling possible, but also the floor is much lower possibly. So like 11-6, like guaranteed right now, I think I'd shake that hand.
Yeah, I have Denver closing out with a win and finishing the season 12-5. I think that puts them squarely in that conversation of the 5th seed in the AFC. And if they do pass the rule changes to change the seeding, where division winners don't automatically get the top 4, and it's just purely by record, that could put Denver in place in the running for 3rd or 4th seed in the AFC as well. So I have Denver doing really well this season. There are some issues that I have with the schedule, some concerns I have, and that's reflected in my win-loss record. But I think overall it's a pretty favorable schedule set up for the Broncos. And so I'm pretty optimistic about them this year. But of course, it all comes back to, does Bo Nix take the necessary steps forward? And, with a 12-5 record, I'm betting that he will.
Man, that would be incredible. That would be amazing. So, is 12-5 potentially good enough to win the division? I think the AFC West maybe could, eat itself a little bit, kind of like what we saw with the SEC last year as well. I mean, 12-5, are we in the conversation there? Or do you think that Christmas game is probably the de facto decider? Because we have them, but you have Denver getting swept by the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
So that would probably be the nail in the coffin. So I had them splitting. I don't think 11-6 gets it done. I'm doing the math right that time. Yeah, I don't think 11-6 gets it done to win the division, but 12-5, you're in the conversation if you split with Kansas City.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like, that's what I was saying, is that I think that Christmas Day game could be that deciding factor for it. If Denver wins it, then I think they're in a pretty good spot to win it. If they lose it, I think that basically eliminates them from winning the division, because that's 2 losses to Kansas City, and Kansas City, I think, ends up at worst with the same record at 12-5. I think I have them going 13-4 overall. I think is what I have them at. So it's still Kansas City's division in it, but Denver's right there in the running. And the Chargers, I think they'll be in play for it, but I think that they will come in clearly in the 3rd spot. I think I had them at 11-6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be a great season. That'd be a great season. So yeah, Gatorade Gaming says depends on how much the NFL lets the Chiefs get away with. Well, they already set it up for them with that bye week before the Broncos. I can't believe that, Eric. I was so annoyed when I saw that. I was just so freaking ticked off. But yeah, hopefully things change, and we're predicting 11, 12 wins. So that'd be a good season. Hopefully we're right on that. But it's time to wrap up because I got to get going, Eric. If you'd start pulling up the prompts so I can read it, since I don't have the ability to do so.
I don't know what all you do on the read, so I'm just going to bring them all
Well,
up.
there's one. We got click the Spotify on the 5-star. That'd be a great. We're not the football priests, but we're something. All right. And you can win some swag. I know that's Eric's favorite word. So drop a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Make sure you're following Eric and I on Twitter. Eric is at Erick Trickel. I'm at Nick Kendell, MHH. Follow us at Mile High Huddle as well. We're over at Facebook.com at Facebook.com/Mile High Huddle and Facebook.com/Mile High Huddle Pod. And as that ticker says there underneath, please subscribe, like, and share. That helps us a heck of a lot. Anybody who dropped the super chats today, I don't have the ability to see that. And no sponsor today. Gatorade Gaming, you're the sponsor today. Shout out to you. Shout out to Michael Ronquillo in the house as well. You guys are killing it. Short and sweet today, but we still got it in, even though we had a lot of technical difficulties. And Chad is sleeping. Chad needs his beauty rest. The shiny marble is not shiny unless he's getting 8 hours. So that's really important for him. Unlike me, who got maybe 3 hours last night because the kid was having a meltdown for God knows what reason. I don't know. But very little sleep. We're here. I need to get on the road here. Wish me luck driving 5 in this heavy rain. Eric, any final words?
No, hope everybody has a wonderful Monday. Hope you drive safe and enjoy your time away from Natalie. And I know that
Mustache is back.
Enjoy
it's work.
Enjoy the time as dad life over the next few days. And yeah, hope everybody has a wonderful week.
And one programming note, we'll put it out there on the Twitter machine as well. We'll be here Thursday. No Wednesday because Natalie's not back yet. She's still here right now, so somebody's able to watch the kid. But now it is I'll be alone. I'll be with the kid, dad duty, and I can't come down here and do the show because I'd have to drop out at any moment. So hopefully we can figure out what the heck's going on with StreamYard, and hopefully it's not a big challenge going forward. And appreciate Eric for rocking the show today, hosting it, building the stream as well. And we will see you all again Thursday morning. Have a good one. Choose kindness, compassion. Go Broncos.